Hi, I'm Roger Cope, and I like to troll liberals on Facebook. Not necessarily troll liberals, but bring light to the subjects that they're for, the subjects that I'm for, and actually come together as one. So I'm into firearms, liberals' worst nightmare for some reason, but I'm a nice guy.
So my name is Amy Cope, and I sell women's clothing out of my basement. I started selling women's clothing about a little over a year and a half ago, and it has been crazy insane. We do nightly Facebook Live videos, and we have in-home boutiques. They call pop-up kind of things, open shopping.
So I sell firearms for a living, firearms, accessories, ammunition. That is what I do during the day. At night I help my wife sling women's clothes. And yes, I'll wear the women's clothes sometimes because I'm secure in my manhood. So I've sold firearms for about 18 years. Things change is when you hire a lot of people and you know they're dependent on you to make that right decision. And so that's why I do it now, is because we have people who depend on us for their living. Some of them are the sole breadwinners in their house, and that comes from us. Started my business in a trailer. It took years for it to flourish, and when it did, it flourished hard, and it provided jobs, decent jobs, benefits with the jobs, and that's where we're at now. So 18 years later, here I sit, and people's working, I'm enjoying life, and we want to see other people succeed now.
So we basically build a community through Facebook Live videos, and Facebook Live is just a selling platform. You can go live on Facebook and go swimming. You can go Facebook Live driving a car. You can go live and do whatever on Facebook now, thanks to an amazing lady named Randy. But anyways, we built a group with my husband's help, and you basically, you go live into your group on Facebook, and you just talk to all these amazing people. It just starts with, you add your friends, and then they add their friends, and then they add their friends, and then they add their friends, and the next thing you know, you'd have like what we used to have three-way calling years ago, and now we have Facebook Live. So instead of picking up that phone and just talking to somebody through a telephone line, now they're seeing you even though you're not seeing them, but you build relationships with these people. And to me, again, that's what it's about. It's not just about selling somebody something, but you get to know these people. And like I said, they add their friends, they come along, and then you get to know them, and then it just kind of goes from there.
So Amy started February 2017 selling women's clothing. And it's crazy. I'm into guns, manly stuff. And then all of a sudden, she's working part-time, and I'm at the attorney's office, and she comes in and she says, and I look at her and I said, "Those are the ugliest pants I have ever seen. Where did you get them?" And my attorney says, "Roger, that's LuLaRoe. And it's gonna cost you a bundle because she's gonna keep buying them." Now, get me wrong. When I put my hand on her butt, it was buttery soft. So that was a plus. So I kind of overlooked it then. So the lady she was working for was selling it, and every night I'm watching her on her phone, watching these people sell clothing on Facebook, and I'm sitting there thinking, all right, I'm pretty savvy with Facebook, even though I'm banned right now, but I'm pretty savvy with Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. I've sold a lot of firearm parts through blogs back in the day, which is now Facebook's taken over. And so I told her, I said, you know what, you can sell this. And when she told me, she says, "I won't sell this unless you help me." So I told her I would help her. Time came, We filled the contracts out, or she did. We was sitting out in Vegas for SHOT Show. We get a phone call, your order's ready to come in. So we fly back in on our schedule, and 4 days later, all these boxes appear, and it's every bit of women's clothing you could think of. I started building our Facebook group, and we didn't want to just build a group that we got your money per se and we were done with you. We wanted to build a friendship. So instead of just building a colossal group where we could get the maximum amount of return, we wanted to build a community basically.
I would think it's different from the home shopping network because you have basically have a personal experience. You still see an item and you want it and you buy it, but there may be only one of those items. You don't have 150 items for purchase, you don't have that same KitchenAid mixer, everybody, you only have one of these dresses, or you only have one of those pairs of leggings.
I help her every night. I'm downstairs every night with her. I do all of her emails out, all of her texting services, all of the messages from our robots that we've got that communicates with everybody. I actively search for new ladies to come into our group, not for them to buy, but to become part of this group, because there's a lot of people out there who needs a group of ladies they can talk to.
So working with my husband is something I, honest to God, never thought I would be able to do in my life. We are kind of like oil and water, but I guess that's why things work. He's a hot mess, and I'm kind of more, I don't want to say proper because I'm not always proper, but we just make it work. And he's not here with me all day, so that's probably a really good thing because we'd probably kill each other.
All right, so my first date with Amy was awesome. I was talking to her on a Wednesday, and I asked her, I said, what do you like? If you could do anything, what would you like? She said, oh, I want to see Kenny Chesney in concert. So I made a few phone calls. Kenny Chesney was playing at Hoobaloo Festival at Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky. So the headliners was Sarah Evans, somebody that nobody ever heard of, Jason Aldean, and then Kenny Chesney. So I call up and get tickets. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, I haven't been on a date in years because I've been going through a divorce. So I'm going to give her the best date I could ever possibly give her. So I ordered 2 VIP tickets to Hoobaloo Festival. I got a suite on top of the Horseshoe in Jeffersonville, Indiana. I found out her favorite flower that she wanted was a calla lily that you can't find anywhere hardly in the States, but I found them and I had them brought in. And so Saturday we were going to leave to go on this date to Churchill Downs to watch Kenny Chesney. Friday night I'm at the particular watering hole, and I am so drunk that I can't move out of the parking garage, and I can't get the light off on my car because the door wouldn't close. And so she ended up picking me up in the parking garage at the Green on a Friday night, with our date being Saturday. She took me to her house. I slept on the couch, she slept in the bed. And when I woke up, we was gonna leave, so I took a shower and I couldn't eat breakfast because I was so hungover. So not a very impressive date at the beginning. We get to Churchill Downs, we go to the Horseshoe, we go into her room, and there's all these flowers sitting there. That landed me a piece of ass instantly. So, I mean, perfect. So, got finished, we clean up, and we're gonna go. So we go and we get inside of this, and Kenny Chesney, and there's 100 bands playing. What do we end up watching? Ricky Skaggs, because I like Ricky Skaggs, a little bluegrass singer. So we watched him for about an hour. We hung out all day. We got to watch Jason Aldean, Sarah Evans, and Kenny Chesney. And we was drinking all day, very seldom ate. And we got back to our room, which we took a taxi. And we got back to the room. I took a shower. She took a shower. And I ended up passing out on the bed. I did her no justice that night. So, and the next day, she asked me, why such a phenomenal first date? And I said, oh, hell with it. If it didn't work out, you're always going to think when the next guy takes you to a movie, shit, I went to Kenny Chesney concert on my first date with the last one. And that was my thought behind it. Well, what is it, 9 years later, we're still together.
Okay, so Roger and I first met, I was working at the hospital, and a group of guys was interested in playing mud volleyball for epilepsy. And because I worked in the neurosurgical area, they came to me and asked me if I wanted to play mud volleyball. Probably not the first thing I've ever would have wanted to do in my life, but I'm like, you know what? They need a couple extra girls. I'll go ahead and play. I'm 6 foot tall, but if I shrink in the mud, it's probably not going to matter. But I used to play volleyball when I was like in 4th grade, but yeah, it's only been like 30 years, so why not? Let's try this. So we get there. I kind of had a trunk full of beverages for our team. You know, we made some Jello shots and pudding shots and all that kind of stuff. And you know, Roger comes over to kind of help partake in the beverages, and apparently he says I wasn't very nice to him, but here we are, 8 years later. We, you know, just kind of like exchanged a few words, and that was it. I didn't talk to him anymore. 2 weeks later, the same people that we were playing mud volleyball with asked if I wanted to go to karaoke with them. So I'm like, okay, I kind of got this guy I'm trying to get rid of. He's on my nerves, you know, and I'm like, I'm gonna go have some pizza with my dad tonight, and then I'm gonna go do some karaoke with our friends. So we go to this, or I go to this bar, and there he sits, and they're like, you know, oh, this is Roger. He sponsored our team for mud volleyball, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And so we're sitting there, and you know, he's like, aren't you gonna drink? And I'm like, yeah, you know, my son's supposed to be at his first sleepover tonight. I'm like, if it's 10 o'clock and I haven't heard anything, then it's gonna be some game on here, because you know, I'm kind of done with this situation. And he's like, okay. So I said, so you know, let's talk about this. I said, so you sponsored our mud volleyball team because your son had epilepsy. I said, you know, I used to work at Children's. I said, do you have a picture of your son? You know, he maybe have been one of my patients at one time, because my registry is actually an EEG technician. So I would do testing on all the kids who had seizures, epilepsy, tumors, headaches, you name it, I would do the testing on. And he goes, oh yeah, he was like, I don't introduce my son to anybody, you know, he gets real attached easily. And I said, I just want to see his picture. Do you have a picture of him? He's like, oh, okay, fine, yeah. So he pulls out his phone, and I'm like, he goes, here he is, and I'm like, like my heart sank, and I'm like, that's Caleb. And he's like, what do you mean that's Caleb? And I'm like, that's my Caleb. And he's like, yeah, that's my son. I'm like, you don't understand, like, that's my Caleb. I'm like, I've done his testing since he's been like 6 years old. Like, I know mom, I know grandma, but who are you? I've never seen you in his life. Like, who is this father you are? And so he was like, you really know Caleb? I'm like, I have school pictures. Like, he would color me pictures. I'm like, you know, he used to be a horrible patient to have to do his testing on. I'm like, he used to be sedated all the time. And then I came into the picture, and he would like lay still for me. I would talk to him. He has a form of cerebral palsy. So the speech is what's mostly affected by him. So a lot of people can't understand him, and he just kind of gets I don't want to say belligerent, but he kind of gets really frustrated with that kind of stuff. But it's all in how you talk to them. So maybe on the spectrum of autism just a little bit, but you know, just part of his whole special needs was learning how to deal with these patients. And so I'm like, this is like really, really odd. Like, this is your dad. Like, I've known this kid for 8 years, and I've never ever met you. Like, who are you? And so he's like, you know, this is really kind of odd. He kept checking his phone, and he kept checking his phone, and I'm like, you know, what are you doing? Are you like supposed to be someplace? And he's like, actually, I'm supposed to meet this other girl at this bar. And I'm like, okay, well, like, the party's here. Like, we have a connection here. Like, I used to take care of your son. Like, let's just kind of talk and hang out. And he was like, phone away, pushed to the side, and here we are. So not a big fate believer, but I believe something had to happen along the way. I mean, everything happens for a reason, and it's just kind of very ironic. So a couple weeks go by, and we're just kind of like chatting on the phone like almost every day, texting back and forth, and he was kind of seeing somebody. I was trying to get out of a relationship, so we were both kind of like lost, not knowing. We both were divorced. And it was kind of one of those things like, look, we obviously have something going on here. We don't know what it is yet. But I'm not going to waste any more time if you're going to be with this person. And I'm not going to waste any more time if you're going to be with this person. So either we're going to do this or we're not going to do it. So we did it. And Roger did not have a very good marriage his first time around. And he didn't see his son a whole lot because of that situation. So probably a couple weeks after we figured out that we were gonna like do this and kind of go all in with this relationship, I said I would love to see Caleb, because it had been probably 6 years since I seen him, because I had left Children's Hospital and went to the adult hospital. And he goes, oh, I'm just really, really nervous. And I said, I already know him. Let's just go see what happens.
So before I met my wife, I was an alcoholic. I was almost 500 pounds, 50-inch waist, 5 extra large tall shirts. I keep a pair of pants just to remind me of where I was. I wasn't in a good spot. I was going through one hell of a divorce. Still ran the business, still operated it, but I drank every day. And then on one day I got invited to I got asked to, my oldest son has special needs with cerebral palsy, MRDD, and epilepsy. And I got invited to sponsor mud volleyball, so we sponsored a field. I want to say that was June 20th. I went out to where they was playing mud volleyball. I'm sitting there, I see this blonde at the time, because she dyes her hair every different color, coming out of the mud, and I kind of looked up and I was like, you got mud dripping from your crotch. Can I take this napkin and dab that, because it's kind of grossing me out? And she was a bitch, pure bitch to me. She looked like she could have killed me, and I was good with that. She was trying to get me pudding shots and all that at 8:30 in the morning, and I was willing to accept them. A week later, we got invited to karaoke, and when it was at Mr. Hips in Fairborn, and she said her son had never stayed anywhere, and overnight, and it was his first overnighting. If nobody called her by 10 o'clock, it was good to go. And at 10:15, I looked at the bartender, Dave, and because I used to drink there every night almost, and I said, bring me a shot of Washington apples, and we drank until the bar closed down, and we got a ride to my buddy Jake's house, and since then, we've been together. I drink very sporadically, not every night anymore. I've lost 100 and some pounds of weight just by watching what I eat and exercising. We've had another child, which is Reagan. She's 7 years old now, and life couldn't be better. I mean, everything could end tomorrow, and as long as I got my wife and kids, we're gonna be perfectly happy.
Okay.
Bye. Love you. I will. We're in a small town, 11,000 plus people. Moved up here in 2004. Had a business going, hired a bunch of people. one point, always thought about moving it back down to where I was from. I grew up in Franklin, but I couldn't do that to my employees, ladies, people who work for me. Been with me a long time, like family now. Everybody moves so fast anymore, and it's like nobody's got a sense of humor anymore as far as about themselves. They're always so politically motivated now that they can't even get along. And when I troll liberals on Facebook, not necessarily liberals, but they always got their point of view and I've got mine, but they've come to love me. And some of the largest Facebook pages ever, they come to love me, and we're able to get along and actually make great friends by starting out just putting my opinion out there and being able to actually talk about it between, essentially without arguing or calling names. And literally I've got many friends on Facebook who are total different beliefs as far as what they believe politically or this, that, the other. And they actually came up and we spent a weekend together at my house, and we literally had the best time ever, and it's good memories that we'll never make again. Right, this is Cope's Distributing. That's where we keep all of our small parts. Everything from pins, pieces, magazines, ammunition. So we do all this back here in the back. This is for our online sales at copesdistributing.com. You can go there, purchase anything you'd like. You see on the website, all in-house here. Started this company back in 2000. Bought a first computer. Went online and seen a couple auction sites. Started this in a trailer actually, near Austin Landing. The trailer park by Austin Landing is where I started this. Started it in a 24 wide by 48 foot double wide. I was high class trailer trash in a double wide. All right, so we're open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5:30. We are closed on Sundays. That's family day, so we've never worked a Sunday. We've never been open Sunday. We never will be open on Sunday. But you're more welcome to come and see us at 640 Markworth Avenue in Greenville, Ohio. And follow me and I will show you the rest of the store. I'm like a strong wheel push by the wind of emptiness. Waiting for the end to strike a chord. Good afternoon. How can we help you?
This is my friend and she's looking for a gun.
She's looking for a gun. And which type of firearm? Do not know. Self-protection. Well, you look young, so I'm saying that at 21 you can't have a handgun, but you can have a shotgun at 18 or a rifle. And for home protection, I'm going to recommend something in a shotgun range. 20 gauge, not much kick, so you'd be able to control it for anybody coming. So what do you want a gun for?
Well, I'm kind of having trouble.
And that's a sensitive issue with a lot of women out there. So, there's also non-lethal means to having to use a real gun. And I will show you those real quick. I'll bring them down to you. You have Of course, pepper spray. Pepper spray goes on the keychain, shoot it in their eyes. There's another mace. It's got the alarm light that flashes if anybody tries to get you with it. And then there's also stun guns. Stun guns put out a volt. Of course, you've got to touch them, but when that hits them, it will stop them. So that's kind of also it's got a little light on it, so you can see. So that's kind of the options, since of your age, would be to room for a shotgun part of it. All right, I got to shoot. I got to go do. So I'm out of here for the rest of the day. So you guys have fun. I laid that coat on the counter right there. So. No partying while I'm gone. So I mean, you can. You got it. So pizza and beers on the way. Sweet.
Hello, so this is my boutique. We have, let's see, over 8,000 pieces of inventory in stock. Not only do we carry women's clothing, but we also carry some men's and kids as well. The clothing line is pretty specific because they only make 5,000 pieces of one exact print. So the chances of you having that same shirt on as somebody else is pretty slim to none. And that is what makes the brand so unique. So we carry all of the sizes, all of the styles, and right now we have at least 30 styles or more. We also do carry Disney, so that is kind of unique to the brand as well. But we have certain styles of tops, so some of them are longer than shorter, ranging from extra, extra small all the way up to 3X. So women and men of all shapes and sizes can wear all of our items. What started out in this little tiny corner of our basement has now turned into this huge array of all of the things. All right, so speaking of building communities, one of the biggest parts of our business, my business, I say our because my husband is a huge help, believe it or not, is our online community. And by that we do Facebook Live videos. We do those almost every night, 6 out of 7 nights a week probably. And this is kind of like how we do it. We have our lighting all set up. We put our little phone handy dandy thing in here. We go on our Facebook group live and we basically sell to our customers. One night we were doing something and the girls, I say girls because they're my girls, they're my customers, but they're my girls, was like, so if we sell 40 items tonight, Roger has to put on a pair of leggings. So they were all like, come on, we need 5 more, we need 4 more, we need 3 more. Roger, you have to go put a pair of leggings on. So he goes over, he puts a pair of leggings on, comes over here on camera, unwillingly, but he did it, big sport. And of course, screenshots start coming in like crazy because they eat it up. Occasionally we go live in the afternoon in our business page. We have 2 different pages. We have our group page plus our business page. I kind of like to use my business page as a business platform versus like the wholesaling kind of thing. I want people to come to my group to make their purchases. I want to use my businesses for this is new products that are coming, lure people into our VIP group because that's where our community is. It's not really the business part of it, it's more of my community.
Hi. Hello ladies, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Are you guys back for your dresses?
Yes, we're so excited.
Awesome. Here you go. These are yours. Yes. Correct. These are yours. Thank you. Dressing is right there. I want to see you. Gotta come out. You have to just let me see them. Promise. That's the rules. What, Reagan?
Damn, girls, you're looking good. Where's my wife?
Oh, we'd like to know the same.
Well, okay. Well, you know what? She's gone, or she's somewhere. You guys want to shoot some guns?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let me go get some ear protection. And give me 1 second, I'll be right back. We're shooting. I'll be right back, ladies. I'll be right back. I was shooting guns with your customers.
My customers in my dresses.
And your dresses, yes.
I'm just gonna tell you that if there's like dust and holes and all the things, you're probably gonna have to pay for that.
Okay,
But
so we were shooting like a little commercial for
okay, that's
the
but
for the
in my dresses.
CoachDistributing.com. Well,
My
yes,
dresses.
in your dresses.
In my elegant pieces.
Yes, the elegant. Well, they looked great at them, so I figured they would go perfect.
So you got your wallet out to ready to pay for those things?
You know what? Here's my credit card. If you want to run the dresses, run it. I will pay for it. Don't go nowhere else with it, though.
I'm gonna buy some.
But so that I understand that you're your dresses. So I like you. Yeah.
You might want to go get them, and I'm gonna go take them.
Ah, all right.
We'll get
So,
them.
I will. Well, we're not done shooting yet.
Yeah, you are.
Love you.
You're done.
Love you.
You're done. So today I was having an open house, and I had a couple customers come by the other day and tried on some dresses, and they were just kind of thinking, you know, if they really wanted to make that purchase. And so they said, you know, they'd come back, they'd let me know whether they want them or not. Okay, I get it. So they come in today, and here they are. And I'm like, hey, you know, are you girls back to get your dresses? And they're like, yeah, you know, we're just gonna go try them on again to make sure that, you know, they're the ones. So I said, okay. So they went into the dressing room, and duty called upstairs. One of the children called, and I had to go tend to the children while they were trying stuff on real quick. And they come back downstairs, and Roger has them outside shooting guns. And in my dresses that they had not purchased. So that's very interesting. Shooting guns outside in my dresses. Who knows where they were doing? If they were in the dirt, in the muck, in the mud, I don't know. I just seen them shooting guns and heard all of the banging going on. So I got the credit card, and he paid for them bad boys. So I came home from work. You know, I thought the women had these clothes on. So when I walked downstairs, you know, of course, there's a couple ladies in there with dresses on. They looked badass in them. So I'm like, shit. I'm gonna see if they want to shoot some guns. We'll get some pictures. Maybe shoot a little commercial in. You know, for CoachDistributing.com, and you know, everything worked out great until Amy came out the door and seen it, and then you know, of course, you know, she let her Dayton side out, and Dayton's a city. You know, I'm not from a city. Gotta remember that. I'm not from a city, so it kind of, you know, she got a little pissed. So I just gave her my credit card. Said, well, here, they ripped the clothes. Run my credit card. I don't care. But the girls were smoking hot in it, so who wouldn't want to watch them shoot guns? So, I mean, she'll be over it. So she'll get over it. You know, we had a little words back and forth. She's a little pissy, moany, but hell, if I didn't do that to her, you know, she still loves me. So that's what it boils down to. Girls done great. They shot great. Guns worked. They looked good holding the guns. I can't complain. Everything worked out perfect. Perfect discipline on the firearms. I mean, they knew what they were doing. So they enjoyed it, and everybody had a great time. Yeah, so I'm banned for Facebook for 30 days. Not my first time. They call me a habitual offender. Sometimes it's for trolling on Facebook liberals, which I don't consider it trolling because
bringing light to a subject. But this time I got banned for having guns on Facebook. 30 days. And so I'm sitting there like, okay, here I'm an FFL dealer. I do everything by the law. And there's really no way to reach out to Facebook and say, hey, I'm a legal business. Why am I getting banned? So I created another profile and literally was making light of, okay, so if you want to identify as this, you can do whatever you want. Well, I identified as a woman, and guess what? My profile's there. And because I went to Snapchat and put a wig on and some lipstick, and I'm under a different name, and I identify as that person for 30 days. I'm back on Facebook. So it's kind of crazy, You can do this on Facebook and that, but oh, you show a gun, and oh my God, you're the devil. And that's why I want to bring light to that. Is you're not a devil because you have guns on Facebook. A legal FFL license.
Was it on your personal page or business page?
It was on my personal page.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, really? I've had guns on there for years.
Just pictures of guns, or what do you mean?
Yeah, pictures of guns, yeah. So I'm sitting there like, really? So you'll ban me for that? Well, they ban me, but it is what it is. I understand it's their policy, so nothing's gonna change. It's happened over and over and over. I got banned one time because I called a Chinese magazine for an AK-47, and instead of saying it's a Chinese mag, I called it a Chinky mag, and they banned me because of not being politically correct or offending somebody. When I was talking about a piece of metal, and instead of saying, well, this is from China, it's Chinky, because that's in the gun industry, everybody knows that Chinky is China. So it wasn't nothing, but they banned me, and there was a big running joke for probably 6 months because I got banned for saying Chinky. Don't make sense. So that's how polarized the world is you can't say nothing anymore without offending somebody. Nobody has the open sense of humor. We need to get back to the days of Archie Bunker. I've got a special needs son, and my whole goal set out, I was poor as dirt when he was born. I was poor as dirt probably till he was 13, 14. I honestly enjoyed it.
Until I came to
Until she came into the picture. So, but I want to leave the world where I don't have to worry if something happens to me tomorrow. I know for 100% that he is going to be taken care of. And at this point in my life, he is taken care of 100%. And so I could lose everything tomorrow and go back to living in a trailer, and I would walk out and sit on the front porch eating a bologna sandwich and smile. So, and I think we are leaving the world in a better place. I think we've bridged a lot of gaps between people. We've met a slew of people we wouldn't know. Amanda up in New Jersey. Amanda, she came down and visited us. Great, her husband's a weatherman. I'm not going to say the news channel. In New Jersey, he's a Monday through Friday weatherman. His wife came out and visited us for a few weeks and stayed all weekend, stayed in our house. Kathy has done that out of New Jersey also. We have our Kentucky girls came up. We met so many people, so many great people, and we wouldn't have done it without selling a woman's clothing line, which is crazy. And I think of a lot of people who sell in their home-based business doing that would actually try to connect with their customers instead of just trying to get a dollar from them. They would watch their business flourish. So are we leaving the world a better place? We think so. But who knows? There could be a nuclear bomb drop tomorrow.